हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतय उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये
Oh, doing a show. Doing a show about to do some live readings. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I knew you had made it there. Okay, well, just call me when you're ready to come home. Love you too. Bye.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। महादेवाय विद्महे रुद्रमूर्तये धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय सर्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः गिरिनन्दिनि नन्दितमेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दनुते गिरिवरविन्ध्यशिरोधिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि विष्णुनुते भगवति देशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणि दुर्धरधर्षिणि दुर्मुखमर्षिणि वर्षरते त्रिभुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि कल्मषपोषिणि घोषरते धनुजनिरोषिणि दिविसुतरोषिणि दुर्मदशोषिणि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते.
It appears you're calling back into a live show. We are reconnecting you now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते शतखण्ड विखण्डित रुण्ड विकुण्डित शुण्ड गजाधिपते विभुगज दण्ड विदारण चण्ड पराक्रम शुण्ड मृगाधिपते निज भुज दण्ड निपातित खण्ड विपातित मुण्ड कटाधिपते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते ऐरण दुर्मद शत्रुवधोदित दुर्धर निर्जर शक्तिभृते चतुर विचार धुरेण महाशिव दूतकृत प्रमथाधिपते दुरित दुरीह दुराशय दुर्मति दानव दूत कृतान्तमते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते वै शरणागत वैरिवधूवर वीरवराभयदायकरे त्रिभुवनमस्तकशु.
All right. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Terror Queen Jamila. Wow. What a crazy Friday it has been. Hello. Hi. Hello.
Your favorite witch is here. The witch is in. What's up to the 12 people watching? If you can hit that thumbs up, if you don't mind, appreciate it. Appreciate it. So today has already been, you know, to say the least, crazy and insane. You know, and you know, my own personal life and some of the crazy stuff, because I have a crazy life. And my life has been crazy. It's gotten a little bit less crazy, but it's gotten to a new level of crazy. And it got me to thinking to talk about exes that stalk, and as well as the Black Widow enchantment curse removal that I am going to be presenting to you guys as a spell option. Okay. What the Black Widow enchantment is it is a curse on your love life. And so many people's love life were cursed. You know, and the reason why it was dubbed the Black Widow curse is because, excuse me, guys, I'm getting over a cold. The reason why it was dubbed the Black Widow curse is because it goes off the same premise of a Black Widow, how the Black Widow spider mates and then kills the person that she sleeps with. She kills them to feed her babies, actually. So she sacrifices the man. The man or the person ends up being a sacrifice, okay? This is extremely devastating. You may think, oh man, that's a bad bee. You know, she's a man killer and da-da-da-da-da. No. If you are a loving person, if you are an empathic person, and everybody that you have ever cared about gets destroyed by it in some way, it'll start to tear you down. It will start to tear you down. It will start to get to you to the point where it hurts. It must be removed. I had this enchantment put on me as a child, actually. And you can even tell everything that happens, everything, all of the events, it just doesn't seem right. It's almost like you're in an alternate universe. And I'll get to you guys' chats in a minute. I want to get this out. And then also I already got a caller, so I'll get to you in just a minute. I really want you guys that are calling in to be people that have either been affected by this or, you know, in some kind of way. You know, if you guys could please, you know, if you've been affected by this, you guys can call in and talk about it. Also, if you have an ex, my son is up there playing. Also, if you have an ex that is stalking you, this sort of goes along with the Black Widow curse, because what ends up happening is that the man goes through some kind of change. It's like they go through a cocoon process. And what is produced is a demonic, evil, almost dead, soulless version of the person that you once cared about. And it happens to every single one of your lovers, all of them. No matter what it is, you and that person can care about each other. You know, you can have an amazing energy. You can get along with each other very well, but the curse does end up taking that person. And so what it does is it creates lovers that are angry because they don't understand what's going on. And see, here's another thing. The fact that I'm a witch, that a natural born witch that was enchanted by witches, and it's actually a byproduct, this Black Widow curse. I'm going to turn down these lights a little bit. The Black Widow curse is actually a byproduct of the curse of patriarchy. Because in the, hold on guys, I gotta close this thing. In the curse of patriarchy, okay, good Lord, my son been over here knocking stuff down. In the curse, because of patriarchy, women have developed such a hatred for men And so this is where we're getting this this gender war. Hold on a second. My son is getting a little too loud. Give me a second. Okay. I'm back, you guys. I kind of lost my train of thought, but we'll get caught back up. What I was explaining is how a lot of these curses came about when we had several, revolutions within the human race, and at the time it seemed like a good idea. But what it did is it produced this energy. And, as we go along as human beings, we create these demons. Okay, so a Black Widow enchantment must be removed from you. Now, if you have a generational hex and a Black Widow curse, those are two separate things, I'm telling you. And you know what? You need to not be angry at practitioners. You need to be angry at the people that allowed it, because and I go into detail about this. There's several different reasons. Number one was to hold families together. It was much more lucrative for the women to stick close to the family. So if a man were to actually come along and, have a good relationship with these women, then the family seemed, so that those were times back then. There was a time when it was a necessity to keep the whole family together. Like literally, if you wanted to love somebody, then you loved your brothers. I mean, I'm just telling you guys the truth about society. These are things that people don't want you to know. So what they did was they did rituals on these girls, and some women did it on their boys, to where they would hold them up to the moon, not the sun. They would hold them up to the moon, and they would decree that there would be no love and romance, and because the Bible actually separates man and woman a lot, in my opinion. It separates us. So this is one of the reasons. So the Black Widow curse was born out of that ignorance, and a time frame where we used to, their times were different, very, very, very different. Those were times when this shit started, and it is generationally. Some of y'all, it was put on you generationally, and some of y'all, it was put on you by other witches. Okay? And, it was done for, like I said, a lot of different reasons. For example, let's look at Fulan Devai. She's a goddess. She was president of India. Okay? Her father sold her for a cow because they were poor. Now, so it was also because of poorness, people being poor, people, selling women. Okay. Women have always been sold like cattle. This is one of the reasons why the goddesses invented the feminist movement. So they did it. They're doing all of it because it's not balanced. Women should not be weak mentally or physically. Okay, we shouldn't. But the men that are under the curse of patriarchy think that that's what they need to do. So hundreds of years ago, your great, 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 great grandmama who survived, do you understand me? Single women have been around since the dawn of time. These women survived the harsh winters. They survived famine. They survived hunger. Okay. And for some reason, the men folk that they were letting into their life was demonically possessed by the curse of patriarchy. And these women had to do what the hell they had to do. These are the same women that walk today And it's not that you hate men, but see, a lot of them do. And I don't blame them. I do not blame women for hating men because of the things that they have put us through, just trying to prove that they're a man. So the Black Widow curse was an enchantment so that the man would be destroyed before he destroyed you as a woman. But it turned into a deep, deep curse for many of us. And this is why, and not just in the Black community, everybody always puts it off on Black people because I guess we absorb negative energy good. I guess, I don't know. But it happens in every race, in every country. Women are fighting for their freedom. So the Black Widow enchantment, it is a curse because it does hinder your love life. Now that we have more education and everybody isn't afraid to light a goddamn match, because a lot of people back in the day when they first discovered fire, they thought they were going to burn up the whole damn world. So there was a time when humans existed. Now, I personally feel like I've always been intelligent. I was born knowing math. I was totally bored with school. I didn't even need to go to school. I knew how to draw, write, read, do math. So I was always one of those kids that was above it all. But that was a part of my spiritual path, okay? That's led me to here. Now, what I want to tell y'all about being enchanted by this, men become obsessed with you. They become attached to you. So this is the kickback of those curses. And some of y'all, your own mothers put it on you. And this is why they got that spirit to where every time a man walk in your life, he's going to dog you. He's going to beat you. He's going to rape you. He's going to exploit you. So they're speaking it into existence. And that curse is like, well, and see, men, they weak. Men are weak. Men are actually, you know, women created men. They said that men were created by God. Hey, guess what? It was a woman that created you. Okay. And so now we've got a lot of them that are so confused. They're running around here threatening to kill women. And, you know, you hate your mama for giving birth to you and you want to punish all women. You know, I just recently, for the first time, I feel like it's like a rite of passage in the entertainment industry or something. But I just recently had somebody release revenge porn on me. It actually happened to me quite a few times. And when a person does that to you, they do not respect you. So if a man ever does that to you, ever, I don't care how much he begs and pleads for the sympathy, don't take him back, because that means that he doesn't love you and doesn't care about you. And it's probably fake gay. I call that, that's like a term that I made up, which is where we were taught to be gay. I'm going to take my first caller, but I want to tell y'all a story about when I was 5 years old. And there was a boy that lived right next door. Okay. So I've always had, I had other enchantments put on me as well. And so at the age of 5 years old, you're going to exhibit certain behaviors. So I showed my sexuality at a young age. I showed that I had a predisposition towards wanting and liking boys all the way up and through. But guess what? I was consistently shamed for it. So when I was 5 years old, I innocently kissed my boyfriend that lived next door. It was an innocent kiss, innocent. There was, I mean, we were 5 years old and we just cared about each other, you know, and it's just all of a sudden we just kissed. And then next thing I know, you know, my mother was throwing a fit. She came outside, snatched me up in the house. The whole family beat me. The whole family whooped me, you know, and just, it was very scary. But, you know, very early on is where the programming starts. So instead of beating me and shaming me, they should have said, you know, this is a normal part of behavior of children. Children do that. Instead, they shamed me. And then that was when I felt bad. That was when it, and so we wonder why I leaned toward bisexuality for a while. and still do, because I was programmed early on to not really like boys. My mother is a feminist. My mother was a feminist. She still is. She almost got rid of me, because back then in the 70s, the feminists, they were like, her body, her choice. They were marching. And if 9 times out of 10, if you were conceived in the 70s, you probably got aborted. And we're dealing with those souls as well. Those children grew up, but they're just dead. They're in the spirit realm. It's very scary when you think about abortion. I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't want to traumatize women, because I know that you guys were pushed into it, backed up against the wall. I just had this person, let me tell you something, a stalking ex. Let me tell you the exact words of this person that claims that it's a man. I own you and you can't leave until I release your mind. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about also what happens to stalkers and what the spirit realm gives us permission to do with them. Because that's not love. Only a demonic entity would say, I own you. Okay, that would be what we would consider to be the devil. The devil does not own healers. Okay, see, I'm a rogue. I'm a healer. I'm a natural healer. I naturally heal people. I don't have to light a candle to heal people or to fuck you up. I do that naturally because I do have the enchantment on me. And I'm talking about specifically when it comes to men. Now, I will be removing this hex, and it's not as bad as it used to be because it was a part of the lineage. A lot of women did that to their daughters because they thought they were protecting them. Okay. So I want to get into this and get the discussion going. Guys, if you want to contact me about a paid reading, call 770-686-7461 or either a consultation. I do a lot of consultations, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's typically, and then it seems like a lot of my readings end up turning into a consultation. So, all right, let's take the first caller. Let's talk about it. Let's see if the caller has any input in this. Caller, you're live.
Hello.
Hello. This is Queen Jamila.
Hi.
Howdy.
How are you, goddess?
You know what? I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? It could be worse, so I ain't gonna complain.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you for being just such a stronghold for women, you know, like myself, that really just need to see a powerful Black woman, Nubian woman in power like this. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That means a lot to me. Did you have any input or did you have any questions about the Black Widow enchantment?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay. I definitely do. Is this the same thing as like an incubus, sexually transmitted demonic? Like, because I know it has that root in it, but I feel as if I've always had an incubus that could be also intergenerational.
You know what? I do believe that there's an incubus that is responsible for it. And, you know, an incubus is more of a demonic, you know, energy. It's more of a demonic spirit. Okay. So yeah, incubuses will feed off of that energy. Absolutely. They feed off of your love energy. And that is what I was going to talk about. Let me tell you something, which was the byproduct, which was it backlashed. Because men have a special power over women and women have a special power over men. But the way that we got the kickback was that it created what we're seeing right now, which is a bunch of confused people, you know, and it actually created death within the women. The women got sick because the women were not being properly, you know, taken care of as far as with masculine energy, because men are supposed to absorb negative energy. They're supposed to do that for us. They're not supposed to reflect that back to us ever. When they do that, that's when the goddess is going to step in, because that's not right. Because technically men were created by us to protect us. That's why, you know, we imagine them into existence. You see what I'm saying? Men were created by women.
Right.
And they don't want to accept that.
Erykah Badu says the same thing, and they hate her for saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't like to hear that. And, you know, a lot of them, in my opinion, you know, I believe that it's borderline, that whole, you know, I hate women thing and I'm MGTOW and going my own way. All of those movements are a part of the mind control. Even feminism was a part of the mind control, because there was at some point, you know, men and women got along with each other. And it was, you know, and back in ancient Egyptian times, it was respect the queen and bow down or off with your head.
Oh, yes.
So I don't even understand where they get this from. It is very vulgar, disgusting, and unnatural Americanized views and ways. And it's taken over. And you know what? The other byproduct was heart conditions. When you mess with somebody's love life,
in our community.
Right, exactly. When you mess with somebody's love life, you're messing with their heart chakra. So, you know, that could be, you know, one of the spiritual reasons for Black people having high blood pressure and more incidences of heart disease, because they're feeding off of our heart chakra. In fact, you know, they were talking, they were talking about organ harvesting and stuff. And you know, that what was his name? He just died. He had like 3 or 4 heart transplants, and he was like in his 90s, and he was buying all these kids' hearts and stuff.
Yeah,
black market.
The rich white man.
Yeah, real demon, demonic looking.
Was it Dick Cheney?
I you know what was it? It was. I think it was. I didn't even remember his name. You know, because I just wanted to forget about when I saw the article. And when I saw, it was a video that I saw about, you know, what people, and I believe it, you know what I'm saying? Because why are we finding all these dead children with their organs missing?
The cloning is getting bad too.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna jump off camera real quick. I agree with the cloning.
Yes.
Do you feel that you have been enchanted by that curse?
Oh, yes, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I feel it and it's important because I have secret society family members, so I know for sure I have it.
Yeah. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Libra.
Okay. So, you know, if you have it connected to you, what it does is it just creates a lot of heartbreak. And Archangel Raphael, hold on a minute, you guys. I'll be right back. Go ahead and talk if you don't mind. If you want to, you can just kind of, if you want to talk about your experiences with it. Okay. And I'll be right here listening.
Yes. Okay. I just basically have always felt like I haven't been able to connect with a man intimately. First of all, then it was just emotional, mental abuse from family members who didn't understand that at like 6 years old. I didn't want to do it. Like she said, we don't want to have these type of encounters where we're seen in a derogatory manner for just liking a boy innocently. It can just blow up out of proportion.
Yeah.
For certain family members, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, you know, if a man does something like revenge porn, he has no idea how maybe the male spirits in your family, you know, he doesn't know that, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care that. Where is the spoon at? Yeah, they don't care though. And you said, I think it's interesting. You said that you have
programming. That's the programming.
Yeah.
That's the double agent that they send in there, because it's amazing to me, like how in the movie The Matrix, the same time he turned around to see the lady in the red dress, it was the man with the gun. As soon as he looked away. So it's like we kind of have to really start to see, like, you know, we can start defending against this, you know, with the power, like you said, of our minds, because that's the first thing they have to do is get our mind.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? When you mess with somebody and you know their feelings and sex and stuff like that, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that they're feeding off of us at that moment that they're doing that.
Oh yeah.
So what I do, and a lot of these men are double agents. The guy that did that to me, he is definitely an agent. And you know, they're there to upset you. Yeah, they want to upset you, get you riled up, because that's when they can feed. Yeah. That's when that's when their spirits are feeding. Right. And so what I found that helps is to not be reactive to it, because they're going to keep doing things to try to, you know, make you react. Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. I really do. But I think that is a part of the Black Widow curse as well. Because every single man that I have dealt with has always stalked me. It was almost like his mind turned into mush. So, you know, just to give you guys an example, like in the movie The Craft, y'all should all watch that tonight. Just, you know, because we like that movie. Awesome. Yeah, but you remember that movie when she put that love spell on Chris and he went crazy. So, you know, this is something that is attached to our bloodline, and this is why we're driving these men crazy. And, you know, I've actually, you know, my Black Widow enchantment curse has actually led to domestic violence. And, you know, that's what it wants. Yeah, because it wants to destroy and tear down. And it doesn't want the females of the family to, you know, have a sexual relationship with anybody. And so, and then also another thing that I've noticed that they do, you know, during the shaming and everything, you know, when you find out, because I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I've had several agents. I've had men. All of the men have been an agent, every last one of them. You know, and I know for a fact that I got people that's in a secret society in my family as well. So, you know, and it's very scary. Yeah, it's very scary to think that this man that you're dealing with or that you're talking to is secretly reporting to your uncles and your mother and stuff like that. It's disgusting.
Exactly.
It's disgusting.
It's really happening.
Yeah, you know, and I've noticed that, and you can tell because it's a specific program that they want to stick with for specific people. For example, my mother always hated me. She did. Secretly, she always hated me because I didn't carry the scars that she had. And so my mother, when I was a child, she enchanted me by calling me ugly. You know, she did. She actually tried to turn me into a monster. She actually wanted to, she didn't want me to be pretty. She didn't want people to tell me that I was pretty. People in the family were not allowed to compliment me on my looks because my mother felt that it just wasn't right to do that. And it may have something to do with me being lighter skinned because I was very high yellow when I was born. And my mother has like a body dysmorphic disorder to where she thinks that she's dark skinned. And so, you know, it's led to stuff like that. So just like you said, you were saying that your family was mentally abusive to you.
Yes, all the time. And I noticed they do that to the people. Albert Einstein had a quote, and it just made sense to me, that great spirits encounter great opposition from mediocre minds. Yeah. And I was like, well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
Have that energy in you. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, they recognize that energy.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. And they want to feed off of it. And you know what they'll do? They'll call you lazy. They'll call you lazy. Yeah. They've been feeding off of you for like days and days and days. I mean, there's this one man, you know, he hooked up and linked up with my ex-girlfriend. And this man literally tries to feed off of me every day just so that he doesn't have to work. And he'll tell me that I'm lazy. And it's just disgusting. And, you know, I know Yeah, and I know for a fact that it, you know, the curse was it gets reinforced all the time, you know, and so it's almost like everybody that you know is working towards the same goal, which is to hurt you somehow and to use this to hurt you. And, you know, it is a part of that Black Widow curse. And now, see, here's what I want to tell you. The person that we're talking to is actually the one. Let me tell y'all what happens under this curse. They will actually be in love with you and they'll think about you constantly. So it does destroy the man, makes them suicidal. It's actually, yeah, I've actually been suicidal as a child. Like I'm grown now. I've dealt with it and been through all of it for years now. So I'm used to it. But when I was younger, it made me feel very much alone, you know, all the time. And that's how my parents wanted me to feel. They wanted me to feel alone. I was a hostage. I was a hostage of my parents for years. I was basically their hostage. Yeah. Hello?
You became their pet. Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever spoke with any practitioners about it? Hello?
Yes, I just got a reading, and can you hear me?
Okay, I'll order it. I'm live right now, okay? Okay. All right, bye-bye. Okay, I'm sorry about that. That was my daughter calling me. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem. But yeah, I went to other practitioners and got a reading, and they said I need a total, like, serious shadow work cleansing because I'm doing superficial type energy cleansing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they said for this type of incubus of this caliber, you need something stronger than just Reiki. You know, the basic Reiki levels. You need a high level.
You need a high priestess.
That has different.
You need a high priestess is what you need. Somebody that can banish that demon.
That's what they told me. Yes.
And you know what? But it'll keep coming back though. You know how I'm sure that, because for me, it's always been this thing. You know, men can't get away from me and they always come back, but they're angry. They're sad. They're being, you know, sucked dry and they don't even realize it. And they're going along with it. They're going along with it and trying to claim that they're the actual demon. So, you know, that is, and you know what? It does nothing but destroy them. And see, for me, I'm a Cancer. I know how to go into my shell. I'll go into a bubble. Girl, I'll go into a bubble and block all this shit out and disassociate, and people be sitting up there going crazy, and I won't even be paying any attention to them, but they'll just be going nuts. And this has happened.
Of course, they have to.
Yeah, well, this has happened even with women and men that I've only spoken with online. They even become extremely obsessed with me. So that in itself is not a good thing. That's a curse. That's not a good thing. So I've been living, I've been living with it for a while. And if I take, when I take it off of me, it will be, it's not going to take away my power as a woman, because that's not my power as a woman. I don't wish to do this. I don't need to kill or maim or destroy men or destroy a man. I don't need to do that.
Right.
But it forces you.
Okay, though.
Yeah, it forces you to make voodoo dolls and do all kind of stuff to these men.
Yeah, you have to. And it's sad, domestic violence amongst women like us, that come from just seeing these patterns of energetic abuse first. It's like the energetic abuse. We're little kids feeling it. We can feel it as children.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been feeling it since I was a child. But since since I'm a Cancer and I'm so sensitive, the first instinct as a child that I had to cope with it was to cry. And it was the best thing that I ever did, because that's the worst thing you can do is hold it in. And I was allowed to cry, but I was teased for it. So, you know, my mother would ask one of my little cousins or my older cousins. She would ask one of my older cousins to come up to me and say, "You're ugly and you stink and we hate you." And so as a child, the shit is scary. And so I'll start crying. And then that's when, you know, the extra shame will come. So I did grow up with a lot of mental abuse. I didn't realize that my mother was actually the one that was encouraging everybody to abuse me, as she's doing now. She's actually been, my mother always connects with the men that are in my life. They always talk to my mother, always, like she's my pimp. It's so ridiculous. It's the most disgusting thing ever. And I know that I'm not the only woman that has went through that. Our mothers and our fathers turned into our pimps, especially if your family was poor. So a lot of poor people, and it may even be in your lineage, and it may not even be a thing that started. It's not necessarily way back in your bloodline, but this stuff started 2 or 3 generations ago. So if you have an 80 or 100-year-old grandmother, 9 times out of 10, you have a multi-generational hex on you, which, you know, I've named these things either the curse of patriarchy as well as the Black Widow enchantment curse. Because let me tell you something, as you know, as a witch, you know that you can pull in what you want, but this hex is constantly, it's a demon, it's a demonic force, and it you know what, it is a succubus, you know, but in some cases it's a ghost, in some cases it's the devil. Okay, the devil of the Bible, the biblical devil, because all of this was created, right? And as long as it's been created in our minds, then it's going to be in our hearts. So, you know, this is something that we've carried for so long with us. And the only reason why these men release revenge porn, and you know what, China, what was her name? Black China. I was about to call her China White. Lord have mercy. Black China, her boyfriend released it. Well, her boyfriend released it because she sent a video of her being with another man. Okay. You know, some of these men release that to shame you, because there are some people that are children in their minds. They've never grew up. They still live with their mother. And that's the first thing. It's a shame. It's a shame tactic.
Whoa.
And then they'll say, "Oh, you ought to be shamed. I should be shamed because I like having sex with men."
No.
You see what I'm saying? So, but it's been that way. My mother is like a deep-seated lesbian feminist. You know, I'm just telling you, it's not going to talk about all of that.
That's how my mom is. That's exactly how my mom is too.
Definitely, just hate men. And it's when they got older. So what they did was they said, "Well, shit, I done got too old and I feel old and ugly. So why don't you go over there and make my daughter feel bad about herself?" Why? These men don't ask no questions, because these older women, you know, women like our mothers, they're definitely offering sex. They're speaking to them about sex and, you know, inappropriate things sexually about their own children. It's disgusting. All of this comes along with it, because a succubus, if you've got a succubus feeding off of your bloodline, is going to pervert your family, because all it wants is to feed off of sexual energy constantly. So the succubus is So the succubus is probably the demon that's responsible for people being raped as well as children being raped.
Yes.
Because it just wants sex. It don't matter.
I had to think it.
There was one of those feeding off of us for years. And when I started doing work, I would get rid of it, but it keeps coming back because I think my mother keeps making deals with it. So every time I remove the hex, my mother reinvents it. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's really weird. The fact that, and you know what? Sometimes I've wondered, is this really a woman? Because, and is this really my mother? Have you ever thought that maybe you were adopted?
Yes, about my mom.
Oh my God.
I wonder. I really wonder.
I feel the same exact way, because why are you currency? Why do you become currency for these people? And it is energetically. And you know what? I've seen people where they've had families where this is so bad, where the men and the uncles, they've trained these young girls so that they pimping them.
Yes, it's so true.
And you know,
yes.
yeah. But see, some of them will just roofie you and drug you. So this is the reason why they locked up Bill Cosby, because he represents the pharma rapist. I mean, I don't know how you feel about Bill Cosby. You may think he's innocent, but you know, in my opinion,
I know something they added up.
Yeah, there. Yeah. So he's the pharma rapist. Bill Cosby is the one. Everybody worshiping Bill Cosby like he's a good father. Bill Cosby is the one that invented date rape. He invented it back in the 60s and the 70s with date rape drugs.
Yeah, he acted it out on the stage when he did, and in the Fat Albert cartoons, he talks about it. Like, he's done it on stand up, making fun about it.
That's one of the reasons why they convicted him, and he thought just because he was old that he was gonna get away with it. That's crazy. So what about your exes? Do you feel stalked by your exes, and do you feel that they, you know, contact your mother, and you know, your mother sort of encourages them, and you know?
Oh yeah, I had to make sure I got away. It's like, it's so hard for me to get away from them, because a lot of them I try to even pretend like I was living on my own for a long time, so I would just like not even try to call. And just try to isolate myself, because it was like so bad. My family would just drop by unexpectedly, and you know, it was like I was trying to hide the fact that I even had a boyfriend for a long time. Like,
right,
like they're gonna just drop. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm like, I can't take it. It's smothering me, you know. And I saw
it does feel like you're being smothered. You know what? Yes. You know what? I have had memories of being smothered as a baby since in the womb. You know why? Because my mother was so obsessed with not gaining too much weight. My mother starved me when she was pregnant with me, right?
Oh my goodness.
She was basically one of the first vegan pregnant women that decided, I'm not going to gain weight. I'm not going to mess up my body. So she starved me, and she even wore tight pants when she was like 5 and 6 months pregnant. So I remember feeling squaz a lot and feeling her press down on her stomach. My mother, when she was pregnant with me, I remember this. She would press down on her stomach so that it would be flat, so that she wouldn't look pregnant. Yeah. So yeah. And I still have memories of it. She did it a lot when she was in her last couple of months of pregnancy. Well, my mother is mentally ill. She's mentally ill. Yeah, she's been mentally ill since she was 16 years old. And it's not mental illness, it's that my mother died. My mother's dead, basically. She had a car accident at the age of 16. Yeah, her soul is
died like.
Yeah. Her soul is gone.
Yeah, and you can feel it.
She done already moved on. Whatever that is that's occupying a lot of our mothers and fathers' bodies, that ain't them. And the reason why, the number one reason, was because they didn't know how to spiritually protect themselves. So Black people are some of the most vulnerable to possession. We're very vulnerable because of our pineal gland.
And
see what I'm saying?
They put certain foods in the Black neighborhoods to keep our pineal glands in the
right.
chemtrails too. Don't forget that they spray more of those in the black areas.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. It makes you sick. I know for a fact that they've been spraying stuff over here because my allergies are constantly up and down. And you know, a lot of these houses over especially in this neighborhood I'm in, they built like paper walls and everything.
You can hear everything.
Gunshots in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia is definitely a very wicked place. They trying to clean it up though.
Oh no.
You know,
it's a lot of low vibrations down there. That's where the slave trade is
right
over there.
Right. I feel it. I can feel that. I feel the slaves over here in the area that I'm at. I live in Lithonia. I can feel it. And I can also feel I can also feel chains around my neck sometimes. I'll experience that because there's spirits walking and they're choking because that was one of the things that they did to us. The same thing that they do with dogs. You know how they'll put a choke chain on them? They used to put choke chains on them. Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Oh,
yeah.
So they don't want you to be aware like that because it's like Erica Badu said. If they know if we knew who we were, they wouldn't have as much power as they have.
Yeah. And I don't think it's any. I think that we're the power source. They don't have no power. We're the power source.
They need us. Yeah, they need to feed off of us and reverse our energy against us.
And it's always the sexual energy.
Halfway right.
Yeah, it's always the sexual energy. Black women throughout history have always been treated like whores and sluts. And, a lot of them, if you hear the black man tell the story, they'll say that the white man gave black women dominion over them during slavery. And that's a lie. Because this is the reason why black women joined the feminist movement, because black men were beating us, taking out all their anger. Look, black women used to get beat black and blue by their black husbands. Only time they got reprimanded for it, the only time they got reprimanded for it was when it prevented us from picking any damn cotton. But other than that, during slavery, the black man was our, first was like a master to us. And these are things,
that's what they call it.
Right. These are things that a lot of black people were not told. And so, black men are very poorly miseducated. They've been doing this to us for years. They used to shame us when we would get raped by white men. By the slave masters, the slave owners. It wasn't an Atlantic slave trade. It was an Atlantic sex trade. It was sex slavery. Yeah. I've explained this to people so many times. But then nowadays in the year 2000s, it's a lot of black people that want to be sex slaves. So I'm wondering if these are maybe spirits that have turned demonic. And, they actually enjoyed the abuse because black people did develop Stockholm syndrome to where we just got used to the abuse. Yeah. This all came along with it. This is why your grandmothers said what they said, because they were hurting. They were constantly being raped, sold, eaten, beaten, and made to gyrate and twerk. When you see those women at them twerking contests, this is the same thing that used to happen back during slavery. You think that twerking just came out? Yeah, they called it what they call it, jigabug, and what's the name of that dance? Gyrating. That's what they used to call it. Then you get that gal in here with that big old booty to come in and gyrate for me. That's why all these women are sick. They going out getting these butt implants. I'll never get a butt implant. I have a heart-shaped booty and I love my booty. especially when it's in shape.
That's right. That's all I need.
Girl, these women are crazy. But see, back in the day, them mammies and stuff, like the black women back in the day, boy, and some of us black people are even still shaped like that. They're shaped like that in my family. I know that when I gain a little bit of weight, it goes straight to my hips. And like most of it is like around your hips and your butt area and your thighs. But back then, you know, those women back in the day, they had them super jumbo thighs. You know, they were, and black women have been watered down a lot in all places because, you know, it used to be an abundance of hips and breasts. And, you know, the kind of stocky black women, those were the ones that they breeded because they wanted them to breastfeed. So they would get the black woman pregnant. They would get her pregnant purposely so that she'd start lactating after she had the baby, or they would just force lactation. So they still do that, only they're doing it in porn. Yes, they're doing it in porn.
Yes, that's so true.
And
they go so far as to reproduce putting bags on people's heads. Like
I look, you must be possessed by something. There must be a spirit that done took over you that said that was the right thing for you to do.
No.
Do you think that a lot of these stalking spirits are the slave masters from back in the day that are stalking us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They seem to be possessing Black men and women. You know, they romanticize it a lot. They romanticize it a lot. Like if you go and look at
Scandal.
Yeah, if you go and look at a video about Thomas Jefferson, they make it seem like him and this slave child that was 13 years old when he began the relationship with her, they make it seem like it was a romantic love interest. She was so beautiful.
Like
she
Elvis
was
and his woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, because she was so beautiful, you know, and the reason why they regarded her highly is because she was mixed. She was obviously a mixed or, you know, high yellow slave girl that they brought into the house to take care of master at the age of 12 and 13 years old.
Wow.
So after that happened, it was a hex on your womb to protect you, but we're not living in those times anymore. So that hex was there to protect your womb. Over there in Africa, they even started doing female circumcision. It got so bad. You know, they still do it over there. You know, the whole confusion. Oh, yeah. Cut it off. Cut it off and sew it up is what they do.
They are too hardcore for me.
It's a very, very scary thought to think that a female child in the motherland can be held down by its family members and mutilated in such a way like that. But they do it out of fear.
Oh, my goodness.
They do it out of fear.
Oh, my goodness.
Because they want to prevent the females from having sex in that tribe.
Oh. That is sick. The power of sex is so powerful. That's why Donald Trump, that's one of his secret weapons is his sex energy.
Donald Trump got sex energy? I didn't.
Yeah, his wife especially. I mean, that woman is fueling him to want to be a powerful man.
Well, Donald Trump is he's like grandpa or something. He's like way too, So do you think that You think that a lot of people, you know, are turned on by Donald Trump or something and his ways?
No, not like that. I mean, like the power of sex transmutation, that sexual
yeah,
being able to harness.
Yeah, he's harnessing it from his wife. I get what you're saying. His wife is his trophy. So I get what you're saying. They got kids.
And then he uses that energy, that sexual transmutation, that fuels him to want to be more capitalistic, you know?
Is that he's got him and Melania got kids, right?
Oh yeah. I believe they have at least one.
But he's got other children though before her from relationships.
Yeah, he got other ones. Yeah.
So he's got
But he's been using his energy the right way. He knows how to spend his sexual energy the same way as money energy.
You're right. But the problem is that, you know, all of this, I personally think that they should have voted in Hillary. I think that
seeing that down.
Hillary is so old. She was so old. She was having seizures. They was doing work on that lady. Any woman that runs for president is gonna eventually be sacrificed. She's gonna probably do a lot of things. Yeah, any woman that is going to be president of the United States is probably going to be assassinated, not in AKA sacrificed, because the hatred for women with money, the hatred.
I know. Aaliyah was one example. I don't know if R. Kelly sacrificed her or Damon Dash did, but she should not have left this early in life, you know. But R. Kelly was so jealous of Aaliyah.
You know, I've never done a reading on that. But now that I look back, that my eyes are open and I look at the interviews between the two of them, it did seem kind of awkward and forced. It did.
Yes.
It did.
Yes. He was sick. He was her handler. And he was sick. He was just mind raping her more than anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He was her handler. That's so sad. You know, what is the deal with 14. What is the
Yeah, 14. Yep. And he had her her uncle wrapped around the finger and everybody. Her mom and all of them. They was eating out of the palm of his hand.
And they sold that girl. They sold her.
Sad.
It is sad. It is sad. You know, I've actually wanted to do a reading on Aaliyah. Let's throw the cards on Aaliyah.
Yeah.
We all love Aaliyah. Let's do. Yes, I'm glad you brought her up.
Yes, I had to, because that R. Kelly thing is, when you say R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, they go together. It just brought her up immediately.
Yeah, they do. You're right. They did discard her, didn't they? They killed her.
Yeah, they got rid of her. Right, she was on she had just been rocked the boat. That was back in 2001. Yeah, she had just did. And her birthday was just January 7th, 16. Yep.
Spirit God, did R. Kelly have something to do? Ancestors, guardian angels. I called Archangel Michael for protection. Let's call some protection to Yeah. What messages do you have, spirits? Does R. Kelly have anything to do with Aaliyah's death?
Yeah, please. I want to know so bad.
Yeah, I do too. I've never asked. I don't think so. Yes or no?
I hope not. I really hope not. He was jealous though. I know he didn't want to see her shine like that.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. He had something to do with it.
I told you.
Wow. No wonder so many people hate R. Kelly.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He is so sick.
I can see it too in the cards.
He is a Freemason.
Girl, you called it down. You called it down. You said he was jealous of her. The 10 of Wands comes up. You said that, and then the Emperor comes up reversed, so he wanted to control her. 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is the plane crash. There's definitely some foul play behind it, and he paid a bunch of people off. The Hanged Man reversed, and then the 4 of Swords reversed. So R. Kelly is going to go to jail for what he did to Aaliyah, because they're actually getting ready to pursue charges against him. Yeah, I think that spirit is punishing him because of that, because he says that he loves Aaliyah, but it was awfully mysterious, you know, how she died. And, there were other casualties, but they'll kill a bunch of other people. They don't care. I feel like they killed Lisa Lopez too. She had a hex on her.
Lisa Lopez. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She was sacrificed. I believe that
they tried to replace her.
The brake line was cut.
Oh my goodness.
Her brake line got cut. That's why the car swerved.
Right.
R. Kelly did do something to her, though. The spirit said that he did have something to do with it. Now, unless Aaliyah is not really dead and he done put Aaliyah up somewhere. Okay. So, but, I asked specifically, did he have something to do with her dying? And the spirits did say yes. Now, the only way R. Kelly wouldn't be responsible for her death is if she's still alive, but living under another assumed name. Which they do.
Yeah.
If Aaliyah
just fake their death, like Prince.
Yeah. So that could also, I could ask that as well, because I've always suspected that Aaliyah was not actually dead, and that it was a hoax, because they do hoaxes on us all the time. Aaliyah would be considered with the Illuminati. She's an illuminated one, so she can do whatever she wants. And I wouldn't blame her.
She wants.
But see, she could have done that and then went somewhere and decided, because if everybody thinks that you're dead, you're going to have peace.
You're going to have plenty of peace. You're no more of that stalking paparazzi, and they say that people that have been threatening you.
Stalking is devastating. Stalking is devastating. Stalking has led more people to suicide.
Yes.
It is horrible the way, and I believe that that's demonic too, because the way that I could see it is that, this guy is going to stalk me until the very end, until he either, and it's sad, but it's the truth. Yeah. And
that's why I had to learn that, like you said, it's different levels to protection. And I'm so thankful that you always mention that to people.
Yes.
Like, it's layers to protecting yourself,
Yes. And you know what? The ritual that I haven't done the full ritual on, that I'm doing right now. And this is actually on the website. So basically, if you're an empath, because stalking is really horrible for empaths, because I feel everything. I can feel that energy. I can even see the demonic entities that are around them. It's so horrible, and they won't take responsibility for their own demons. So basically, the protection ritual for empaths is so that you won't absorb the negative energy and sicknesses, problems, burdens, and thoughts of others. You will only see the issue, but it will not scare you or cause anxiety, but you will interpret it through thought and intellect, but not emotion. Only intellect, and your mind, body, and spirit will be protected. You will not absorb the negative energy and sickness, problems, burdens, and thoughts of others. So this is the incantation that I'm going to be using for a lot of different people. If you guys want to use that for yourself, you're more than welcome. If you want to come to me and pay for the work, You're more than welcome. This has already helped me because I had revenge porn released on me and I did not have an anxiety attack because it was done to give me an anxiety attack or a heart attack, one or the other. So anxiety, y'all don't look, take anxiety seriously. Okay. There have been some people that have died of a heart attack during an anxiety attack. So please understand that this is serious. And if it were not for the protection that I've been doing, then I would have been done, had some kind of heart attack, or either roaming the streets saying, somebody help me, please. You know, they're stalking me. But I haven't lost touch at all. And they haven't broke me down in that way. Now, I will tell you that, you know, society didn't protect me because I practice witchcraft. But that's a mistake because that's a mistake because I'm a healer. And I do have a very tight connection with the angels. You see what I'm saying? So I've always known
that's the both worlds.
Most empaths, yeah, I actually, you know what I was going to say? I work with heaven and hell. You have to. You have to, because you have to send people to hell. You have to send entities and demonic spirits to hell. And I do have a specific thing that I do in particular. If you have a picture of your enemy, it's an astral traveling type of thing that I do, to where I will go to them. I'll open up the ground and the entity will go down in it. This has been proven to make the enemy sick while they are expunging that demonic force, but it's got to go back down, you know. And they're actually, I've actually heard and seen people, I've actually heard practitioners saying that they are conjuring incubuses and succubuses. Why in the hell would you do that? You know why? Because they want them love spells to work quick and fast and in a hurry. I don't do that with my love spells. No, I will never, ever, ever do that with a love spell. You know, you're trying to kill them.
Thank goodness.
Lots of people have been killed that way. You know, ordinary people that have families, they don't know what's wrong. They're very unlearned. And I don't, you know, that kind of devastation that they're creating in people's lives is not cool. And guess what? There are evil practitioners out here doing this, but yet I get all of the damn backlash. And I do good for people.
Wow.
So this is why I still work with Jesus Christ. I do. I still call it Jesus Christ, because when you're dealing with a biblical demon, and you know what? Jesus Christ comes to me. I don't necessarily call him. I just know that he's there. I personally think that Jesus Christ changes form. I think that he's also Archangel Michael, and then sometimes he can be Archangel Raphael. Because if you notice in pictures and depictions of Jesus, even though they drew the white Jesuses, which a lot of people don't like, but you notice that they'll have him cloaked in green. He'll have something green on it. There'll be a green aura around him. Well, that's Archangel Raphael. Jesus Christ was a healer. This is the reason why when they crucified him, he rose up 3 days later. So, you know, Jesus wasn't a zombie. He just healed. It took him 3 days to heal from all that stuff. So they thought he was dead because they nailed him to the cross, beat him half to death, but he just healed. And they said, oh, it's a miracle. Jesus is walking again. And he, you know, and so those things are what happens to every single healer and a lot of my people that come to me. Now, some of y'all, it's a different story, but all of us have that Christ consciousness inside of us. Because you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you why a lot of people use Jesus Christ's energy in an emergency. Because Jesus Christ calmly slays demons. He don't even have to sweat. He just comes in and the demon backs away. You see what I'm saying? So this is reality. Now, a lot of us do have that embodiment Demons are afraid of me as well, which is why I am a practitioner. I believe that Jesus Christ was a practitioner too. I believe that. I don't. What do you? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I do, because if I see somebody turn water into wine, I'm not gonna call them no saint or nothing. I'm gonna say that's a damn magician or that's a high priest or something. You know, I just don't see it like.
That's true. That's true. You're right about that. It takes common sense, you know, and then just to know why that, you know what I'm saying? So all of that is relevant, but we're repeating that over and over again. Jesus Christ wants us to ascend. We're not damned to that. We're not bound to that. We're not. And see, this is the reason why. But see, the problem is that the problem, in my opinion, is certain spells that are in the Bible. And when the pastor is at church, he's speaking those spells out to the congregation.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So I find it hilarious how, you know, they claim. And then I'm even wondering, is there anywhere in the Bible that says that a man is supposed to stand in front of a bunch of people and read that Bible to them? Does it say that anywhere in the Bible? If you're a Christian, you can let me know in the chat. Is that something that... Well, I mean, I can imagine that if you're joining like a priesthood or something. But when do Christians take demons out of people? When?
Right.
They always seem to come back. It's not a permanent fix. And the reason why is because it's your mind. You're constantly being told to be weak-minded. You see what I'm saying?
Day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, all the time. Just be a sheep. So the sheep are the ones that, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to tell you something. For some reason, for like the past 3 or 4 years, I can pick up on Christians praying in the church.
Wow.
This has been a very,
like religion.
Yeah.
Demonic rituals.
I can sense their demonic rituals. I can sense their demonic rituals. And I can also sense, them at church on Sunday. I can sense how everybody's feeling in the churches. I can sense, you know, what the whole agenda is, because every Sunday it's a new agenda. I can definitely sense when they're wishing death on me, asking me to die when I do nothing but good. So Christians made the same mistake with Jesus. They killed Jesus too. They killed the Savior. They ripped them apart
too. They be having them candles and incense in the church. I see all that oil.
They do the same thing that I do. The only difference is that I'm a woman. And, you know, back in the day, this is what, you know, the whole hang a witch was about. It was about taking away
witch trials.
Right. This is what the witch trials was about. This was about taking away the power away from the woman and putting it back in the hands of the man. So this is why they don't want us to be midwives. They don't want us to heal, which is stupid. And that's why they're going to all be destroyed. That's the dumbest thing ever. Why would you try to kill a healer? Y'all tried that with Jesus and y'all thought he was dead. He was probably just in a coma. And he woke back up. And y'all gonna come and tell me that Jesus is damning me to hell, his sister in the struggle? Never. No way. This is why, and you know what? I believe that Jesus gave me that power to heal those people at the church. Because if you notice, when I started talking about veganism, that is when they began to attack me, because they don't want me to heal vegans. They want it all to themselves. Because you know what they did?
That frequency is dangerous.
They made us all sick when they pushed veganism. So we're all affecting each other vibrationally. So they made us all sick because we can sense that, you know, all of these vegans, they're, you know, a lot of them are in very poor health right now.
The plants are just like animals. They communicate between each other.
Yeah, and they don't, you know, I think that plants like when I eat them. No, I don't think they mind me eating them. But I think that people that don't like humans, I think that if you're somebody that doesn't like humans and you call yourself sticking up for the animals, okay, when, you know, we're an animal, you know, if when a baby breastfeeds, that baby is feeding off of another animal. So this is a part of nature, and these people have upset the balance of nature. So they did a big experiment with all of this stuff, you know, the master cleanse, which screwed up, the master cleanse screwed up my stomach. My gut has been unhealthy since I've done the master cleanse.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. I developed Crohn's disease from being a vegetarian.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not supposed to, you know, eat a lot of vegetables. We're supposed to eat more meat than vegetables. And we're not supposed to eat all vegetables. Yeah. So, and then also vegetables are not in their correct form. So this is the reason why they're, you know, somehow the vegetables are, you know, starting to kill people. And I think it's because of just, you know, God being ironic, the world being ironic. Isn't it ironic that they told us that the only way we were going to be healthy is if we ate our vegetables? But then now through research, they're finding out that vegetables are actually harming us.
With the pesticides and the GMOs and right. It's not even legal. A lot of these vegetables are not even legal in other countries.
So all of these vegans that are now trying to heal themselves, which will probably ultimately go, because there is a depopulation plan. There is, and they started with.
That's why they want people to go gay, because the gay helps with depopulation.
Right, it does. But then when gay people started having babies, they began to outlaw it because they actually killed. Yes. They killed a judge in New York. That judge in New York was getting ready to sign a bill so that lesbian parents can have rights. You know, in some states, as a parent, you're considered mentally ill in some states. If you're a lesbian or a gay person, you're considered mentally ill. In some states, being gay is still considered to be mentally ill. They, you know, they still don't give you the same rights. So they're going to automatically be like, oh, we got to watch this person. You know, this person,
especially here in North Carolina where I live, it's just like North Carolina won't even let us do unisex bathrooms here.
Wow.
They were on the news for that.
Wow. Well, they don't have that here either. I'm trying to think if I've been to a unisex bathroom in Georgia. Not once. I go in the men's bathroom because I have a son. I ain't sending my son in no men's bathroom by himself.
I don't want that. But I'm just saying they when they were trying to push it, North Carolina was the first state that said we will not participate in any type of, you know, gay pride. Like they just were so adamant in doing code words and keywords, but they were just adamant about letting people know we don't support any type of outside of the normal things that we like. You know, they want to keep traditions so alive.
Right, exactly. But you know what? Here's the thing about it. They created it. They created it. You know, Sarah Sudusetti says, and I agree that Sarah Sudusetti says that the reason, you know, Christianity at the basis of it, it's you know, some gay bitter man that invented that religion. It was a gay bitter man. He didn't like women.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was King James.
Whoever invented Christianity, you said it was King James. Well, King James, he definitely didn't like women, and he definitely didn't like witches.
Oh yeah, but he took out a lot of important books: the Book of Eli, the Book of Mary Magdalene, the Book of a lot of amazing Thomas. It was so many more books that were just deleted, and a lot of key code words. Shakespeare even wrote some of the Bible.
I wonder why. That's so. You said Shakespeare wrote some of the Bible.
He wrote some of it too. Yeah, you can look his name up. Is actually broken up in the Bible. They break his name up in the Bible.
Shakespeare. That's
they break it up in two. Yes, they break it up.
Wow.
Shake, and then later on, like 46 words down the line, it's spear.
Wow.
So they showing you little clothes. Yeah, and I didn't even know there were unicorns in the Bible. The word unicorn is in one of the older testaments. It's in there a couple of times.
It's very interesting. It is, and it tells us a lot about our history, a lot, and why we ended up in it.
I'm amazed.
It was why, it was why we ended up in this mess. You see what I'm saying? This is why we're here, right here with, you know, men acting weird. You know, why on earth would you ever claim to love or care about somebody and you're, you know, denigrating and degrading somebody? You know, you're supposed to keep,
and you're feeding on them.
Yeah. Sex is supposed to be sacred. It's not supposed to. Yeah. So
mealtime.
Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, that's all that they do. And it comes straight out of the Bible. You know, these men, you know what else it is they get a kick out of, you know, punishing women. They want to punish you.
Oh yes. That comes from the Nephilim giants when they came down.
It turns them on.
The Nephilim giants tore all the women up when they came down. They were the sons of God, all right. They were crazy big. And they basically they hurt those women.
Yeah. It ain't funny, but it's I'm gonna tell you something. Don't be a fool and protect yourself. As a woman, you have got to uphold your own, you've got to defend your own honor, because your father, look, a lot of us, you know, I don't come from a family to where, you know, the men in my family are going to go out and defend my honor. That's not the type of family that I come from. And I remember my uncle years ago talking about my aunt, who is now passed on. But I remember him talking about her, and I remember him saying that, you know, she would go out and date boys and stuff. And, you know, if she would get into it with these men, she would expect for her brothers to defend her. But my uncle did not want to defend her. You know, he said she shouldn't be out there doing that. And he's not going to go out there and mess up his nice suit, basically.
Wow, that's how Tina Turner's mom was. Her mother sold her out to Ike Turner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, she did. I remember that.
House, Ike. That's all I want is a house.
Damn.
She chanted her way out of that. She had to chant her way out of that misery. Tina Turner was so miserable. All she could do was chant. You know, there's a Christian story. I was watching Woman Thou Art Loose by T.D. Jakes the other day. And Kimberly Elise said a story. He said, the man came up to him on the porch and said, "Why won't the dog get up today?" And the man said, "Well, the dog ain't hurting bad enough yet. That's why he ain't getting up."
Wow. Yeah. Damn.
You know, and you have to feel the pressure. Unfortunately, it's like, you know, diamonds and coals on the pressure. For Black people to wake up, we have been conditioned so much. We need a hammer to hit us over the head.
Yeah.
Because that's how much conditioning we have been put under. We need as much hammers as we can get to the head as possible, because they come in with too many strategies of how to keep us energetically entangled in their maze.
And you know what? If you notice, a lot of these Black men, they're willing to do it. And back in the day when slavery was legal, you know, they had guns to our heads, but you know, they've decided that it's their choice. because they feel as though they've got to keep people in control. They've got to control who you have in your house. They've got to control.
Oh my goodness!
You know, the energy.
You know who to me is an abuser. You are so right. There's a man named Tommy Sotomayor. He is so abusive to black women without even touching us.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of these black women love it. They go right over there.
I feel so disgusted every time I watch his shit.
Me too.
I feel so abused. Every
too,
time I watch it, I feel so degraded and so humiliated just watching anything by Tommy Sotomayor. He's despicable to me.
He is.
It used to be a man named, he's picking up for a man named Avenue Rance too. They used to do that. They used to talk so dirty about these black women that, you know, the women eventually had to come together and get their channels, you know, watched and monitored, because I've flagged Tommy Sotomayor's channel so many times. I've never seen somebody try to discredit black women, you know, like that. And I'm thinking to myself, if we started coming around talking about y'all sagging y'all pants all the time, we're blamed more.
Yeah. And whenever we have any kind of sex, you're instantly a whore. Instantly.
Right.
I had a black person. I had a black person in a black man's chat room today that said, you've been a whore since you were 5 years old. Because and so it's very inappropriate, because I believe a lot of these sickos are also pedophiles, because back during slavery and all that, pedophilia was still legal back then too. So when Thomas Jefferson,
society too.
Yeah, back during King James time, you could, you know, do whatever you wanted to do with a child.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Just like Jerry Lee Lewis, he married his cousin that was a child.
He used to go upside her head and stuff.
Oh yeah, she was way too young for Jerry Lee Lewis. That man was so, he would know he was way too old for her. That was such a big age gap. It's ridiculous. And that was his blood cousin too. So I'm thinking to myself that they've been doing this for so long, keeping their stuff in the family for so long.
And then a lot of these people, a lot of these people that are like, you know, I believe that incest comes with Freemasonry. I'm sorry. I believe that those people are involved heavily.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes. That makes perfect sense, especially emotional incest too.
Oh God, that's the worst. That's the worst. And they'll go, you know what they'll do?
Type of incest.
You know what they'll do? And I've actually had my family do this to me. They will actually go in front of the man and publicly humiliate you to let him know, to reinforce the abuse. I've had that happen to me. For some reason, my family members, they get a sick, twisted kick out of seeing a man do harm to me. They love to see that. They'll pay. They'll pay for it. They'll pay for it. It's a turn on sexually.
Oh yeah, same here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, same here. They love it. It's exciting to them to watch you, you know, feel helpless, and you know, you have to try to pretend like you're strong, and you can handle it, and you can woman up.
Yeah. And the reason why is because they've been afflicted by all of that stuff. Not shame on me, shame on them. That's who needs to be shamed, is them. That's why I always shame them right back. You know?
Yeah, because how dare you profit off of my pain? You know, you don't get a chance to profit off of a situation where I'm being targeted. That's ridiculous. You're allowing me to be targeted. And you're profiting from this because you're that desperate. You're selling your soul for a jelly roll here. I'm not the one that's doing that.
Exactly. I'm going to have to use that. Selling your soul for a jelly roll. I'm going to have to use that.
It's true though. It's really true. No, it's really true, ma'am. I feel like that's how they are, and you know that to me, because you're getting that desperate, and you're their family member, and they're resorting to getting the energetic reward from seeing that.
Yeah, it's also jealousy. Are you prettier than a lot of the people in your family?
Oh my goodness, yes, with jealousy, and they get an emotion from it, like they ate some ice cream or something.
But guess what?
There's a movie called The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. It's the same. It's that mind game you playing every day. It's like, what we gonna wake up to today?
Right. Exactly. And they always wait until the exact moment. So today is Aphrodite Day. Today is Love Day.
Yes.
It's Friday.
The shadow side of everyone.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
The shadow side. You getting the shadow. I didn't know it was so many layers to shadows. I'm like, whoa. Shadows have layers too. People that we gotta see beyond certain dimensions here. I'm starting to see that. And I'm like, it's different layers and shades, even to shadows.
It is, and it's crazy. I had another caller on the line, but they hung up. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been talking to this lady.
I'm so sorry.
No worries, because a lot of
queen right here, y'all. I'm talking to the queen. Y'all gotta bow down to this woman right here. She is on point.
My whole thing about it is that I just want to live better. I don't want to live within this nightmare, and I shouldn't have to. But the way that a lot of Black families control you is by using white supremacy. Facts. Because they feel weak. It's them that actually feel weak. You see what I'm saying? Because you know what? Sometimes I think that I was literally like a Cabbage Patch baby. And I was literally there to be spiritual food for my family. I had a prophetic dream.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let me tell you,
Whoa.
my family is filled with demons and demonic entities. But let me tell you, I had a reoccurring dream as a child that my whole family turned into zombies and began to chase me. And it is happening right now. It's been happening for the past 4 or 5 years. They're in disguise. They're disguising themselves as trolls to attack me. You know what justifies it?
My goodness.
A Bible written by somebody that was, obviously more powerful than them, but less powerful than me.
Oh, yeah.
So they justify it by saying, she's
practicing. That's why they're using clones on the head.
Yeah, most of the people that I've came across the past few years, they're dead and gone. I'm the only person that's still here. Unfortunately,
soulless, no soul, empty.
Yeah. No, they replace people. It's not just taking the soul out. They actually replace the person. They kill the original and they replace the person and do an exact replica. So this is how they were able. And so it's as scary as it is. And I can honestly say that I've had intercourse with a clone.
Me too.
You see what I'm saying? Just recently, it was the first, probably before, to be honest with you. Just didn't know it.
Yeah, I know I have too. I cannot deny that. I felt it.
How do they completely change that person the way that they do? There's no way. And literally to keep them focused on the same thing. A little $300 ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? This has got to be a clone.
Oh, that is so true. It's gotta be a phone, and they're so advanced now. The technology, they're not gonna do the FEMA camp thing. They're gonna put you in your house, which you're gonna have the damn goggles, the virtual reality goggles on that have stolen energy from people.
You're right.
It's gonna be able to totally zombify everybody's mind, cook everybody's mind, just because it's gonna be seductive.
Except for mine, though, that they've never been able to take over my mind. I can recognize when they're doing that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have never.
I know. I know they hate you.
I ain't saying what they want, what they want me to say. I ain't did what they wanted me to do because people don't have respect for people's choices.
For
some reason,
everybody has the right.
Well, this is what I want to tell you guys. When it comes to what we're talking about right now, it's called breaking contracts. So contract is broken. We already done broke that damn contract. So they can't feed because I wasn't even upset. I didn't even get upset, girl. Bye. I didn't even get upset about it. Shit. I said I ain't about to let them steal my joy.
I love that. Oh my goodness, I love that. And then they be like, what? It throws them off guard because I actually use that technique, just not being predictable. And it threw them off guard. And I had the check cashing place gave me an extra $300 just because I was acting polite when I normally would have been impatient. I said, I'm gonna just try this little trick.
Yeah.
Just being unpredictable sometimes can throw they whole robotic system off.
Yeah, this guy that I was just dealing with, he's definitely some kind of clone, a robotoid, artificial, life force. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He don't have no consciousness. And then he'll say, I love you. I love you. I love you. Yeah.
What?
Very weird.
Oh, hell to the no. Yeah, see,
and they're definitely trying to do spiritual work on my son Jacob.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm just about. Yep, exactly. Yeah. They'll even use the same deodorant as you just to make you feel more comfortable around them, so your senses are engaged too, not just the basic communication. They want to start getting your senses engaged as well, so you smelling other smells, you're hearing songs that sound like them, that remind you of them. They have so many subconscious signals.
Yeah, it's absolutely freaking disgusting. Is really how I feel about the situation. It really is.
So you had them use your deodorant? They've used your deodorant and toothbrush too?
They always doing something to the damn toothbrushes. I start putting folks out of my house when I feel like they send little messages to the kids and shit, to fuck up the house or make a mess or mess with your toothbrush. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hell yeah, they do. Like a dog whistle can make a dog go chase after an ice cream truck or something.
Yep.
It's certain signals that'll make a child when they mind hasn't been conditioned to know how to buffer out certain energy. So that's something I'm learning. Like, in order to be spiritually mature, that's what separates the spiritually mature from the spiritually people that think they have awakened. Because just because you're doing self-help, that's not the same as being spiritually mature.
Right.
And knowing how to lock the doors and have your burglar alarm on.
I can see everything that's wrong with these people through and through. I can see the entity that's on them. You know what I'm saying? And they don't see it. And literally, I am a natural born high priestess, which is one of the reasons why I'm in this position in the first place. I was born this way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because back in the day, my aunt, used to have me communicating with her deceased son when I was a baby. Because I died, like I was there when he passed away. And I was only like 2 or 3 years old.
Oh my goodness, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't have to grow up under all of that. Screaming and hollering. We got to get the devil out of this one.
Well, you know what? They would pick at me. They would pick at me.
Right. Okay. So you went through the same impact of, the impact can always be at different levels. It's just some people think you put lipstick on a pig and it's not a bee. But it's still like some people, I read T.D. Jake's daughter, she's a pastor's child, and all these housewives, they are pastor's children too, and they be saying, damn, I'll be so happy to get free.
I can just about imagine just having my father, and he's just a Christian. He ain't no preacher. But he's, you know, literally just him being quiet and complacent led to everybody feeling like they had the right to dump their shit off on me just because I practice witchcraft, and I'm a natural born healer. Okay, and with actual natural, you know, strength skills. I'm an empath. I also have telepathy. So I'm a telepath.
Wow. And
so,
you eat meat and you can do it. Do it without fasting. That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, girl, I ain't got to do no damn fasting. Fasting ain't doing nothing. That's not giving you a spiritual gift. You're just starving your body.
Exactly. Thank you for emphasizing that.
You're welcome.
People do not get it.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have had it for forever. It's something you couldn't turn it off if you wanted to.
No, but I do know how to use it and how to protect myself. And have you ever seen the last chapter of Insidious? I feel like all of these movies were made for us to feel better, because the last chapter of Insidious, I can't think of her name in the movie, Louise. She was the medium, and her father would beat her when she would communicate with the dead. He would beat her.
Wow.
You remember that? The last Insidious. And when I watched it, it was like it was so terrifying to, you know, because you can't help the gifts that you have. And, you know, I can guarantee you that my father was probably angry at my aunt because he felt like she put those ideas in my head. But that's not what happened, you know. And, you know, she said that I would do just like Carol Ann in the movie. You know, I would pick up the phone and talk to him. And she's been having health problems lately. So I've been trying to pray for her and everything, because she's really the only one that I can still call. You know, I can call her. My mother, I don't even talk to my mother, but I call her, and everything that I go through, you know, I just kind of, you know, I don't dump it off on her, but I cry on the phone with her, and I say, Auntie, and she'll say, well, you know, I always love you, baby, you know, and, you know, it's
priceless.
So a lot of people don't understand that I know how it feels to be loved unconditionally. They think just because my mama didn't give a shit about me that I don't know. How am I able to love other people if I don't know what that is, if I've never been loved? And a lot of these men that have been circulating my mother. Yeah. So it's really sad. It really is.
And that's why you connect with the angels so well, isn't it?
Yeah, because I've needed the protection. I have, because they protect me a lot. No, they do. Because as you can see, I don't have just one or two enemies. I have about 60. I have a whole congregation. I have a whole church that is stalking and harassing me.
Oh, that means you must be like Maleficent or something. When she came up in the church, everybody was like, what? I love it. And I'm feeling that. That's the presence. The angels are whispering to me like, you have this Maleficent. They try to take your wings from you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how I've always felt. And you know what? I feel as though when I do ascend, I am going to turn into an angel. Again, I feel like that's my original form.
Oh, that is beautiful. And no wonder, Aaliyah, you was able to pick up the Aaliyah energy so well, because that's the energy that Aaliyah always wants to emphasize, is that she's always felt like she's a street, but still sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaliyah is such a sweetheart.
And I love that about
she
Aaliyah.
Was misled.
Yeah, that's why you picked her up so well. Yeah.
Yeah, she was misled.
Wow. That is a pure gift. Nobody can do that on just like a media like that. That really takes a sincere gratitude in your soul, because angels don't want to just be with a half-assed person.
Right. You're right.
You know,
You're right about that. I have very high. Girl, I got very high expectations of people.
Yeah.
I do. I have because I just don't do that. And you know what? You know, it's been a constant attack. And I'm normally such a peaceful person, and I haven't been the past few years. And I've had to raise hell just to get my independence and freedom to be who I am.
Right.
You know? And so you know, it is you know, and so during turbulent times, I will call to the angels for help, you know, especially when we're having issues on the earth. Because it's so much evil that's going on.
Woo. And it's evil in high places, like the Bible says, in heavenly realms. It's so high you can't even see it. It's so they so good at hiding it in plain sight.
Yeah, you're right about that. So I know for a fact that because I have a haul video coming up, you guys. And I am going to be working on removing that hex from myself, because if you don't care, then you don't care. If you've shut yourself off to it. But the side effect to that is heart problems. So that's why a lot of our mothers who gave up on love, they have high blood pressure and heart disease. That's one of the reasons why. Women ain't supposed to have heart disease. You know, it used to be completely unheard of for women to have heart disease.
That's a very masculine.
Exactly.
Cancer or something.
Exactly.
We're not pushing no steel mills or nothing.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
And it is things that they're putting into the environment. The stuff that's being put into the environment comes from humans, though. All that stuff that they say that's in the air is coming from people like that person. Okay.
Wow. And all of those tactics, the bad food, the bad water, the bad chemtrails and stuff, all those low vibrations, plus of course the rituals they're doing in the churches that are around all the blocks. You know, those are the tactics they use. You know, Alice Walker has a quote, the woman that wrote The Color Purple, she has a quote that people give up their power because we think we don't have any.
They do. They all do.
You so they
and you guess
so
who breaking?
Thinking you ain't got no right.
Guess who's breaking down the powerful people? Black people are using their own power against each other.
Yes. Yes, I hate it.
And
I hate it because you know they paying Tommy Sotomayor money to do that. He's getting paid big bucks to talk like that.
Yeah, they're obsessed with being a slave master. They want to be the slave master now. Black men think that that's
it's deep.
Yeah, black men think that that is going to be their power and independence is turning into a slave master.
Wow, they are so sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
They don't know why we're the most educated group in the bunch.
Well, do they not understand that we abolished slavery? Our ancestors abolished slavery, and slavery is over, and got rid of the slave masters.
Yeah, they didn't know that her name was Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth.
Oh Lord, our girl, when you said Harriet Tubman,
they thought Josephine Baker.
What about Josephine?
They thought she was a hoe.
Yeah. Well, they treated her like one. She was married to a white man. You a hoe no matter what. If you're an African American, you a hoe no matter what.
Yeah.
From the time you're born, they calling you a hoe. Yep.
She didn't like that. She thought she was gonna get some privileges, but you know that was a good example. Even Oprah can't get privileges.
Right. Yeah. It's very sad. It's a very sad thing. I'm going to be doing rituals of protection today for you guys, and for myself.
What are you? You're so generous.
Yeah. Well, for you know, my people, my clients.
Oh, how much is
my supporters?
Yes.
Because that's what they want. They want all of my energy. Which is really, really sad, because if you remove, look, and then also they're trying to steal my spiritual gifts. That's one thing I keep picking up from several of them. They want to steal them and then divide them up between the two of them. But my spiritual gifts come from my heart chakra, though. So you're gonna cut my heart out?
And that's sacred.
You're gonna cut my heart out?
Sacred. They can't get it. No, they.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They can't get it.
You're right. And it's not just me, you guys too. Your spiritual gifts come from your heart. And you know what? That is what we're healing, because, you know, this is one of the reasons why I've been talking to ex-vegans, because when you were on that diet, you were putting pressure on your heart. Anytime you don't give your body nourishment. Yeah. And you're
that's painful. That is so painful.
So you ended up with a bowel disease. You ended up with a bowel disease from being a vegetarian.
Oh yes, I was a vegetarian for 4 years. Thought I was so cute. Thought I was really doing well until I found out I had to go get 3 surgeries back to back for fistulas, which is like boils. Oh, it was so painful. And not only that.
Wow.
I had boils from it. Yeah, it was awful. I thought I was doing so great eating salads. Thought I was like the Kardashians, a Fiji water and salad. And it tore my body up.
Girl, your ancestors didn't eat that. In fact, a lot of our immediate ancestors, they ate chitlins.
Yes.
You know why?
That's what
you know why they
I
gave us
my ribs.
You know why we ended up with the pig? Because the pig is high in fat, and that's what we need to synthesize all this negative energy.
90 seconds.
Yeah. Stay on the line. Hey, guys, if you guys want to talk, call into 516-590-0362, and you guys can wait on the line, and I'll let you through or whatever. Dang, girl, I've been talking to you for like almost 2 hours. That's crazy.
I'm so sorry.
No, you good.
Everything, Queen.
You good. You good.
Are so phenomenal.
You need to. You know, maybe I can make you like a regular guest on the show. You know what I'm saying?
60 seconds.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Goodness.
Yeah, because you seem to have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, you know, because nobody else is really talking about the problem. They're just trying to capitalize off of it.
Oh yeah, we need solutions, and that's what Alice Walker said in The Color Purple. You think you don't have power, you give it away. The more you take your power back, the more they have to respect that energy. You starting to get in between the nooks and crannies and getting your energy back in.
It's funny
that's
though.
Power beyond.
Right. Listen though, it's funny how you would bring up the Kardashians. I don't mean to cut you off, but
please talk about that.
Here's the thing. There are children. You know, Kim Kardashian has had a lot of facial surgery or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? So if we don't tell them what's right, then they'll destroy themselves. They need to hear this. They need to know the truth. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, wow. And I'm sure there are celebrities watching you right now.
Yeah.
That are probably like, well, I know they watch you. I know they do. Because the celebrities definitely, you know, probably think you're like very mesmerizing to them. So I'm sure they want a piece of your energy too. So, you know, it's amazing to me how you don't have to try hard, but those celebrities are flocking to your channel, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And other vloggers on here. Even ones that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you know, they seem to.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm good with it. I don't mind that. I don't mind the attention. but it's all of the time wasted on the negative attention. You know, we need to step past that.
Oh yeah, solutions. Yeah, we need to evolve here, really authentically evolve on more than just the basics, the superficial level. We need to really get into the heart of this, and that's what people are so afraid of. Is, you know, well, you got to clean this bullet wound out. A Band-Aid is not enough for this.
Mm-hmm. You right. They got to clean it up, and you right.
Yes. And you got to put some ointment on this, some aloe vera, some coconut oil. You got to make sure you making this, you know, even if you got to put a little lard in it, put whatever you got to put in it to make sure you sustain and nourish, because that's what we're not getting, is that nourishment. And we thinking we don't have the right to nourish ourselves because they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. You know what I'm saying? And they wealth is what they use to reverse our energy against. You know, and that's why I love how you said you got to protect yourself on more than just the basic levels, you know?
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right
you for doing
about that. Yeah.
Thank
and you know what?
So
but let me tell you this, though. You're very welcome, sis. But let me tell you something. That's the reason why I've been going through this. You know, it hasn't necessarily been because this is something that, and the reason why I go through it is because all of you go through it. And when I decided to take on my power, you know what is so weird? I know that a lot of people are going to say, she, you know, they're going to laugh, right? But it's almost like when you are empathic, you don't just pick up on your kid. You don't just pick up on the person down the street. You pick up on it all. So being that I'm on YouTube and I am being that I'm in the public eye, there's so many spirits and deities that want to speak through me. And, you know, so it's so much going on. And, you know, for me to still be dealing with
the celebrities that celebrities definitely want to speak through you too.
Girl, yes, you know that Chris Brown was very upset with me after I did a reading on him, and I could tell because it felt demonic. I felt the energy coming in from him. I felt, you know, vampirically attacked. And I was actually quite upset with Chris about that, but he's forgiven, you know, because, you know, if you don't forgive people, I mean, well, you know, if it just happened yesterday, you know, I'm not going to be forgiven, but it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You know, you don't want to take shit into the new cycle. The stuff that we're dealing with right now, we don't want to take it into the new moon. So, you know, and so that, you know, that is how I feel, because personally, my ego is not there, but I do have to speak on who I feel that I am personally in my power. Because if I don't speak about that power, then people will not know. So I have to say the truth. Yeah, I have to say it. And it's because I've been suffering for so long, because I've been picking up on it. When everything is peaceful,
pressure, no diamonds.
When everything is peaceful, the children are acting right, the everything. When it's a bunch of chaos going on in the world, it comes right into my lap, which is why it's very scary. It is. It's very scary. And I've been left to deal with this, you know, basically alone, except for, you know, my sisters in the craft that are in the spirit realm.
What about your angels? Do you ever try to have them to just like, you know, do some, you know, just to keep you shielded, like just to make sure they can send you signals? Like, do they ever send you signals, like warning signs for you when you feel like some type of code or something is being sent your way?
It usually comes through as anxiety, which is why I don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, Archangel Raphael, what he does is he comes in, because of their energy. You know, sometimes an attack can be them coming in through you, because many of us are vessels.
Oh, yeah. We're portals.
Especially when you just have a period. It's stuff and beings that's coming through your period.
Yes.
That's why they hate women. You know, but the stuff that comes through me bears fruit But they don't like that either because they all want to die now. They've created the hell.
I thought they wanted to be frozen. Girl, so they could live forever.
Girl, they ready for the world to end. They tired.
Wow.
They tired.
Whoa. I had no idea.
They don't want to live in a world. They don't want to live in a world where Jamila prospers.
That's right. I know that's right. They definitely proved that. They proved that many times.
Yeah. So yeah, I've consistently had the problem with exes stalking me because I've got that Black Widow enchantment on me. And the only reason why I haven't actually written the petition to take it off of me, which I need to, because it looks like my delivery seems to be coming today. I can't believe that. That's weird. When did they send this out? Y'all, I may have a haul video coming up today. It says today. But then again, it's not in Georgia. The package, well, the package is not in Georgia. It's in another state still. But they say it's going to be delivered by the end of the day today.
Oh, wow. So you got lucky.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see how they going to do it. It says scheduled delivery. I think, yeah, the package is in South Carolina. How far is South Carolina? Is that like a few hours?
That's in between North Carolina and Georgia. So you're only one state away.
Well, I guess it's traveling. I guess they're gonna bring it on today, or else they'll update it for tomorrow. You got to get that enchantment removed from you because it'll make you angry at the person. But to be honest with you, and I was like, why is this person obsessed with me? And then I said, Black Widow. Black Widow. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. Katz Rodriguez, I actually initially got the concept from her. She actually did a video on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I actually
thank you for giving credit. That's beautiful.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I noticed that it was on me. It was like the Black Widow effect. And you know, I think that this kind of enchantment was done so that for many different reasons. I'm going to share a screen, you guys, on YouTube. If you go to the website, you will find that hex remover on there because it is something real. I just named it that because that's basically what it is, because every single lover that you have seems to become destroyed. And even if they say, well, you know, like, you know, they'll say, well, I'm strong enough, ain't no hex gonna mess with me, but they always end up succumbing to it. I mean, you know, it's bigger than them, you know, kind of like in that movie Practical Magic. You know, many of the spells and curses that are on you came from your grandma, came from your ancestors. And they've given you the information to remove it. They're telling you to remove it. They're saying, I'm sorry. I did this at the time because I thought it was the best thing for you because those were different times. But now they're saying that you can have freedom from that. So I put a small description of it, but I do plan on doing some, you know, maybe even an ebook to go into details about some of the signs and symptoms.
Yes, please.
Black Widow enchantments were put on them. This is what you'll find on the website. They were put on a majority of, I didn't mean to do that. They were put on a majority of people by evil entities. So I'm gonna have to change that. Older ancestors during time of survival did this, as well as other women, including mothers, sisters, and even brothers have casted these enchantments on beautiful souls. So something they have been searching for their whole life will potentially destroy them, their lovers, and even their offspring. Okay, so it does affect your offspring. Okay. This ritual is performed under very clean conditions by an experienced practitioner. Okay. Alchemy, magic, and healing. So let me just tell you guys, okay, the guy that is under this enchantment right now is going around lying to people and telling people that my house is filthy. No, it is not.
Whoa.
I do not do any spiritual work in a dirty house. So that's a lie. Okay. My rituals are always performed under the best conditions. If I'm doing a hex on somebody, yes, I will use meat. I'll use rotten meat. I'll use rotten fish sometimes. Yeah. But as far as like with you guys' cleanses and anything that I do, I clean up behind myself quickly. Okay.
That is incredible. Yeah. Now, I know that's got to be true because the way you keep your makeup on point, your makeup is beautiful.
Thank you, girl. I don't even really hardly wear makeup though. But thank you. I try. You know what? You can tell by looking at me that I'm not a dirty person.
Right. Yeah.
It's obvious that I'm
great
clean.
Hygiene. I thought you had great makeup.
No, I don't have any makeup on.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot for a lot of women to want to have their skin that clear after, just after years of taking care of yourself, you might not be able to have that look that you have. So a lot of people, unfortunately can't relate to that. Not everybody has the good genes,
Yeah. Well, I don't know where I got these good genes from. No, I'm joking. Because I feel like when you ugly on the inside, you ugly on the outside. And that's, I've been getting picked on. They know that I am an empath. And, I've actually felt possessed by a demon before because of the kind of stuff that they would do.
Whoa.
I remember rituals being performed on me as a child. I do.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
And they were rituals. They didn't involve somebody laying me down on a thing. If I ever went through that, I would probably block that out. No, these were rituals that were being done within the family to control my mind. And they just did one today. Yeah. They took it down though. These same people just did a ritual today. And that was
I feel that.
It's the same ritual that my family used to do on me. They would get together and just all say negative things about me. And it wouldn't cause negative to necessarily happen in my life unless I allowed it. But I would still feel the negativity. So these are the things that I've been protecting myself from. They just did it today. My mother was in the chat room. My father was in the chat room. Cousins, uncle. Those are all of the people that are in the chat room of this guy that they kind of hired as like a handler. And they're very delusional and sadly mistaken. They are. They're very delusional. Just because you're in a group doesn't mean that you have any power. They think that they have it. So it's the same ritual that the family has been doing on me for years. They just hours and hours of sitting around the table. That is a ritual. That's witchcraft.
Yes, that is the energy that they're in, especially when it says 2 or 3 are gathered in my name.
Yeah, exactly. And my family
is 2 or 3.
My family, they're the ones that go around chanting that my son can't talk. The reason why they do that is because they hate him because he's half white. So, my mother did do enchantments over my son too. My mother and then my grandmother told me about an enchantment that she did on me, but I forgive her for it. But you can tell that it's specifically that it was definitely done. What I can see is male and female energy surrounding it. I feel like it's something also that your parents might do. It's no different than a physical castration. It's the same thing. You know how in Africa, the parents, that they bind their children's boobs to flatten them. Now, my parents have never done that to me, but I've actually had to sit and on a daily basis repair my boobs because you know, and they're actually very full right now, but there was a point when I was kind of skinny and I was very malnourished.
Oh yeah.
And you know, a lot of that had just sucked the life out of me. And you know, like for example, I would wake up and it would feel like I had slept with my chest bound. So I have to literally repair my body. Another thing that I've had a vision of is family members stretching and ripping my skin, stretching and ripping my body. I've actually woke up just with everything gone. It looked like somebody had just put me in a sauna, and I woke up covered in sweat. So I know that these people visit me. I've been saying that for years. Yeah. So I've had those experiences, but I don't have them anymore since I've removed the problem. Part of it was quitting smoking cigarettes. Part of it was stopping smoking cigarettes. And, you know, that actually filled my body out a whole lot. Yeah. Because at first, you know, but, you know, even just throughout the years, you know, I feel like that's one of the reasons why many of the women in Africa, they have a thing that they do where they bind the chest to make the breast look less desirable. And you can do that with spell work too. So yeah, your mothers can put spell work on you to make you get stretch marks. Soon as you get pregnant, I hope that bitch gets stretch marks.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. I know exactly why I look so up.
You don't look toe up.
Now I know why she does.
You don't look toe up because you know what? God loves you, and stretch marks are not. No, we don't hate our bodies over here. You know what? You can repair it.
Thank you so much.
You can repair it.
Thank you.
You can repair your body.
Yes.
You know what? You know what fixes that spiritually? What is the name of that herb? It's a herb that smells like maple syrup.
Oh.
I use it in my spell work sometimes.
Nutmeg?
No, it's not nutmeg. It is in a powder form. I'm trying to think of what it is. I'm thinking of it. Hold on. I'll have to remember it later. It's oh God, is right. The women breastfeeding mothers take it to increase their milk supply.
Oh yeah. I know. It's like Lacta.
I can't think of it. I can't think of it.
Yeah, it's definitely it helps. They have a tea. So they put it in a tea as well for women to drink so that they can breastfeed better.
Right. It's I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sure you guys know exactly.
They definitely have it in a tea.
Yeah. And and you can actually drink it, and that will actually repair that, you know, because I'm sorry if a bunch of people are focused on your breasts all the time, then they're trying to do something to them. A bunch of people that are focused on your buttocks all the time, they're trying to cause physical changes to your body's appearance because they want you to be less desirable. Why? Because they feel as though it's going to weaken the family.
Wow,
that's how they feel.
Sad. And the family is what's important, especially when you have secret societies in the family. They don't want you to have a real commitment.
They don't. So I've suspected that for so long. Like when I was around the family, like all of a sudden my intuition would just tell me that they were all hiding something from me.
Yes.
So that is the truth. Hey, Kiki. Oh, yeah. Fenugreek. Let's look up the magical properties of that. Fenugreek. That is what you can use in your spell work. You can actually use it in spell work. And you can also drink the tea because they'll try to make your body look like a boy and stuff. They'll try to turn you into a boy.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They have energy weapons.
Yeah. So I'll do, you know what you should do? You should sleep in one of those soft sleep bras, or either do an oral protection, or make sure that you're saging your house. But it's very difficult when your parents sell you out. You know, that's deep when your own parents sell you out.
I know that's right. And that's what happened with Gary Coleman. He got sold out.
What's up with him? What happened to him?
He died a horrible death. Like, oh my goodness. The way he died, it was awful. His whole life, he was nothing but a pawn for his parents. Him and Lizzie Lohan, boy, their lives are miserable.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of them grew up. Amanda Bynes, a lot of these kids, the guy from Home Alone, these child stars end up, Miley Cyrus, they end up just wrecking everything. And I saw this, I thought it was just the black child stars, but I saw on Bulwark this movie with Halle Berry with this politician that was trying to add black. He was like, you don't have to be black in order to be a slave. You know, he was like, it's not just the black people that are slaves too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He said, you don't have to just be black in order to be a slave. It's more, it goes across the board. It can start from such a long time. It would be like a pot. Like when you turn the water on a lobster, you do it slowly so the lobster don't jump out the pot.
I am so excited about what I'm reading about fenugreek. I am so excited about it. Please. Well, it's good for psychic. It's good for psychic protection and grounding, but it can also help to focus your intent. Now, this is what's really interesting. You can dust orange candles with the powder and light them to energize a mother. So instead of telling her that she's lazy after you've sucked her dry all day and night like a baby, instead of telling a mother that she's lazy, why don't you sprinkle some fenugreek on an orange candle and help her out? Dust yellow candles and light them for a healthy child. Dust blue candles and light them to help correct an infant's sleep patterns. And you can actually wash the head with an infusion of fenugreek seeds to help protect against demonic possession. So I am actually going to be ordering me some of these today for real, because I actually...
me too. Is it on Amazon?
You can get them from Amazon, but you can also order them from Instacart, like if you need them the same day or something. I imagine because they got CVS Pharmacy, you can order stuff from there. I need some of that stuff. You know what?
I love tea. I'm a big tea drinker.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They have it in the pill form. And what I used to do, what I've been doing for years to protect my breast size, because what I'll notice is that, you know, they'll try to put enchantments on my boobs. So what I used to do was I would rub them. I've actually got a fenugreek and coconut. Goat's milk. I've got a mixture upstairs. And what I've been doing throughout the years is rubbing them on my breast to protect them. And I wonder why I was doing that. Now you can take it to increase your breast milk supply, but they can also be used for spell work and to protect you. I didn't know that. I'm going to start using fenugreek more often. Yeah. Oh, it's good for the hair too? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So put it in water and let it sit for 24 hours. Okay. I'm actually gonna start using that, because a lot of the nourishment that was supposed to be meant for my child has been going towards these entities and stuff. Because I noticed that I started having a problem with breast milk supply. A lot of women are having a problem with breast milk supply.
Yeah.
And I believe that one of the reasons is possibly dehydration. Also, you know, anti-nutrition, the stuff that they're giving us. Then again, also, I feel like I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you what I think is going on. There's aliens roaming this earth. As soon as we fall asleep, they coming in and they feeding off the breast milk. They feeding off the menstrual. They're feeding off of all of it. And they don't need to have a key to get in your house. They don't have to have a key, but they're not good at finding people. They're not. That's why they always got this people finder and stuff, because they're not good at finding people. You have to give them your location, I think. I feel like if they know your address, they can do a lot to you.
Oh, yeah. You make it easy for them. That's what people say. You're making it easy for you to be a target.
Yeah, but you know what? The reason why YouTube found out my actual identity was because, number one, I think my family put it out there. Okay. But somebody searched the picture and found my Facebook. And that's how they knew my first and last name. But my family would have given my name anyway. They don't have no.
Wow.
They just want to make sure that everybody fails in the family. I've seen them do it. There was a woman that married into my family that my grandmother does not like and still does not like her. She actually said it. She used to say it for years. Chappies never prosper. Talking about children. Because I nicknamed children chappies. I watched that. What's that movie with the movie about what is his name? Oh my goodness. Malcolm X. No, Malcolm X. Remember when he was in the in prison and he said something about the word chappy? So for some reason I started calling kids chappies when I was younger. I always got some kind of thing I'm doing because I'm kind of a comedian. Well, for some reason, the family got really demonic. And, the children in the family were getting molested and raped and stuff. And this woman, this black demon witch, demonic witch that was married into my family. And my grandma warned me about her and my uncle before, right after she passed on.
Oh,
so y'all got to watch them witches that are being married into your family. And somebody got to be smart enough. Yeah. See, if you taking care of the family, for example, with my mother, if she wasn't so busy trying to compete with her daughter, she would have been, in the correct mind frame to protect the whole family. So her mother, because my grandma would have definitely lived much longer.
Right.
My grandmother died before she was supposed to. I know that for a fact.
Whoa.
I truly believe that. It was my grandmother had lung cancer, but they said it was brain too. But I think they lied about that. I think they made excuses. I think they were giving my grandmother something so that she couldn't tell what was happening to her, because I believe that they were abusing her after my grandmother got real sick. Yep. And I believe that they were, doing weird stuff to her because this lady never liked. And this stupid idiot, my uncle, opened up his own mother to that lady because none of the women in the family were smart enough. This woman still exists in my family. She's still causing problems. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is, you are a threat. You are a serious threat. You are a threat on a very high level.
You right.
They coming for you with the major ones.
You know that I was the one. Well, I don't know if other psychics saw it, but I think I may have been the first psychic to see that whole thing was orchestrated, like it was a setup. I could see that it was a setup, but I thought it was a setup by the network. But see, networks, when you think about what a network is, when you think about what a conglomerate is, a network and a conglomerate is going to be very powerful. So how do we know that Juzzy was not under mind control from the network? How do we know that? How do we know that they're not sacrificing him for the show? Hey, Knighted, how are you?
Oh.
Okay. So once they open, discard the seeds, but you can use the, you know what? I am definitely going to be ordering me some fenugreek, and I'm going to be using it for several different purposes. And I am going to be incorporating it in. Now, 49 minutes ago, R. Kelly was indicted on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. Wow.
Whoa.
Musician R. Kelly has been indicted. Let me see if they're going to be able to convict him this time, because I saw that they weren't going to convict him. Now, unless somebody must have heard that reading, so it could have been some witches, though, that could have heard my reading and said, oh, hell no. Especially with the whole, the whole Aaliyah situation.
Oh, yeah, I know that. They be watching your channel closely.
Let me see here. Spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels. What messages do you have about R. Kelly? Is he going to jail? Yes or no? Will he be found guilty? Okay, we're going to look at major arcanas. The food is on its way. We're going to look at major arcanas, and even numbers is yes, odd numbers and court cards is no. Okay, show me what you want us to know. I'm gonna do a full reading on this, but money's gonna have its way. Money. R. Kelly is like some kind of demon god or something. Money is gonna have its way in this case. Guess what I got? It says no, that they're not gonna convict him. The Ace of Pentacles.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
The Wheel of the Year, the Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So he's got, this is a spirit. These are two spirit guides that are protecting him.
Wow.
It's y'all gonna be disappointed. You know, if y'all want to see R. Kelly go down, I don't think that they're gonna be able to do it unless they gonna have to have a lot of power, because he comes up as the Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel of the Year, and then the Three of Swords, which
he's 33. He's 33 degree Freemason.
Oh well, yeah, that's why the Three of Swords comes up. He's not gonna. No, they gonna. All right. All right, Knighted. Have a good one. Oh, you said you got off work, paid some bills, feeling broke with. No, you not broke if you paid your bills, if you were able to pay for your comforts. It's time to feed the puppies again. I can tell that they're hungry. I don't see it happening with R. Kelly. I think that it's not gonna happen. I think that he's gonna have a Bombay lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of support from the church. He's got a lot of support from the church.
Guaranteed.
So, now before I saw that he wasn't going to be convicted either. Now, if I'm wrong, then somebody is manipulating it. Somebody must have manipulated it, or maybe justice is going to.
Fake news. It could be fake news.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I got this from CNN though, but CNN does fake news too.
It could have been fake news before.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we'll see what happened. I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of a trial. So I saw disappointment. Hey, stop scratching my furniture, cat. My cat's being bad. Oh, wow. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I do need to go because I gotta feed the dogs.
Thank you, Queen. You are awesome.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for calling in and hanging out with me. I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode right now because it's time to feed the puppies and feed the dog. Zelda back there having a fit. So yeah, the puppies must be getting on her nerves or something. Oh, I understand how you feel, Knighted. You can come over here with that $203. I'll make sure you don't feel broke. You bring that $203 over here in cash and we'll do some money spells and do some magic, okay? You bring that over here, okay? And then we'll turn that into 1,000, okay? Well, or is a rack 1,000, or is it? I can't ever remember. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for calling into the caller. I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode on Blog Talk because
thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
It's over. So anyway, yeah, that was really intense. A lot got covered. I was actually afraid that I would get flagged. So if, you know, but I mean, we're all adults here. You know, if that's something that triggers you, then I'm sorry. You know, maybe it was meant for me to trigger you. You know, I hate to say that, but sometimes, you know, in order to release negativity, you have to be triggered. Okay. Georgia is better than up north. Oh, is it? Is it really? So anyway, guys, I have had fun today. You guys made me feel much better in the quake of, you know, all of the stalking of the divine high priestess Jamila. I am still, you guys can still get on my schedule if you want readings, okay, or consultations. You guys can get on my schedule for this evening or tomorrow. My 30-minute readings are 55, and my 60-minute readings are on sale through the month of February. Okay, they're on sale for 80. So take advantage of that. And I so appreciate you guys being respectful and compensating me for my energy. You know, and I love what I do. I was just talking about that because I'm getting ready to start on a court case. I gotta call my client though, because I gotta get stuff together and get this court case started on. But I tell all my clients I do this full time. I don't do anything else. And I probably do need to do something else, which is going to be making candles. So I'm freaking excited. Like it's coming, it's happening, and I'm gonna be making some candles before I move. So I'm gonna start doing it now. I don't have to wait till I move and stuff like that. You know how people be like, I'm gonna wait until I move it. No, because them candles are gonna, making them candles are gonna be so therapeutic. And I'm gonna make candles, healing candles, protection for empaths. I actually ordered, or did I? Did I actually add that? I may, let me see if I added it to the thing. I don't know if I added it. Let me see. So, okay. She's here, Ty. So I ordered, a St. Jude candle. Okay, because, and you know what, because I don't know if my shipment is coming today. Okay, well, evidently I didn't order it. But I saw a candle that just really made me want to start making my candles. It was one of those, I think it was either like a lavender and lemongrass candle. And I wanted to get it, but I decided not to because I said I'm going to make my own candles. And so, yeah, you'll be able to put a spell on yourself, and you'll be able to, you'll be able to either, calm the mood down. So I'm going to have all sorts of different types of ingredients in my candles. Hops. I'm going to use hops. I'm going to use valerian root in my candles. Of course, this stuff will be grinded up and it will be in the candle with it, right? It'll be incorporated in the candle. So I'm going to have to make sure, hold on a minute, guys. So I'm going to make sure that I do that because this is the one thing that they did enchant me with. Success in business. So I got some bad enchantments, but I did get some good enchantments. And then also success at being a witch, and you know what? It was so funny because my mother actually denied the whole thing, because she doesn't feel probably that I should be out in the open with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's, I'm not just a witch. I'm a spirit guide. I'm a healer. So, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to become a very famous spiritualist is what I was meant for me. So they're going to have to update Monopoly You know, Monopoly in the game of life. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to, like, I'm gonna make my own version, the alchemist version of these board games. Monopoly. Okay. The game of life, they need to have the occupation of a wizard or a witch, a wizard and a witch. And please don't make the wizard earn more money than the witch. Stop it. Because we all need money to eat. Like, do you get it? Like, if you try to stop a person from earning money, that they won't be able to eat, they'll starve to death. So this is something consistently that men have been doing. And how you gonna be a 33rd degree Mason? I'm a 33rd degree Mason. No, I'm joking. But for some reason, that number 33 always comes up for me. I don't know why, but you know, they need to update that stuff. You need to remove all of this because, you know, have y'all ever watched Star Wars or Star Trek? Do you see anybody telling the women, oh, you're just a weak woman, go sit down somewhere? No. And women are usually very easy to get along with until you try to violate our rights and tell us to shut up and sit down while you about to kill the whole village. You creating death in people's mind, bodies, and spirits, and you messing with babies. So I'm not going to shut up. That's what they wanted me to do, was shut up. And another thing is that I was the only child's rights activist on YouTube that wasn't hiding behind a camera. So that's another thing. So that, you know, but that has to do with Archangel Gabriel. I would quit messing with that lady. You know, she'll destroy you with a smile on her face if you mess with children. I'm just telling you, with a very peaceful look on her face. Okay, she will, you know, or what she'll do is she'll move the child out of the situation or move the child out of the way. You know, that's where they got the term bouncing babies. You know, because people used to throw children off of the cliff, and if they bounced, you know, it was Jesus or something. I don't know. You know, people used to do some crazy rituals. All of them are rituals. I'm the one that has the most eclectic. I do some dirty stuff sometime. I will tell you, I will do some dirt. When you dealing with these demonic entities and that thing ain't right in front of you, I don't want it right in front of me. You know, you got to get rid of it any way that you can. So if you guys need to reach me for exorcisms, cleanses, you know, whatever it is, you guys know where to reach me. In particular for the Black Widow enchantment removal. We're not going to remove the good enchantments. No, we're going to remove the Black Widow enchantment. This is harming you, and it's harming you in more ways than one because it's killing your heart chakra. Your heart is just broken, you know, and it's going to take a lot of education. And only then will people start to live better. We're not going to, and the whole idea about food, you know, we're going to be vegans and da-da-da-da-da. No, that's going to create death. So if you are somebody like the person that I was talking to that has messed up your gut, you guys can contact me because I rule over the stomach. I'm a Cancer. That's one of our organs that we rule over. So this is probably one of the reasons why I can sense a lot of you with stomach problems. In particular, if you've went through veganism, you've probably lost your appetite for real nourishment, right? So, you know, and we've got to nourish these women, and the women and children need the most nourishment too. Because a woman is not just carrying herself, she's carrying a child with her. Even after the child is born, the woman is still pregnant. Okay, once you have a child, you pregnant forever. I'm not even joking with you. Y'all need to connect with your cosmic feminine divine selves, and men need to connect with that cosmic masculine divinity. And when y'all truly connect with that, that is when you will protect a woman with your mouth, with your hands, and with your heart. Until then, you're confused. Okay. You're worthless. Okay. And witches are going to get you. And not just witches, because listen, let me tell you something. It's such a bad thing that they just need anybody that they can, for real. So any of y'all that got spiritual gifts that want to be a part of it, and you guys want to be an apprentice, and you guys want to do rituals with me, you guys can contact me. And I'll make another video, because I always call 2 other witches, because I'm a solitary witch, okay? But eventually I am going to have a coven. And, you know, those are going to be some very strong witches. They're going to rule and dominate a lot, you know, and, you know, we're going to be the names and the faces of the future of witchcraft, all of us. And it's not just going to be witchcraft. It's going to be healing, with healing centers. Okay, we're going to open up a healing center right here in Georgia that is going to be ran and operated by witches and healers and, you know, massage therapists, you know, Reiki, energy healing people. It's going to be ran by that. And we're going to have, you know, I'll say, you know, it's going to be beautiful. It'll almost, we'll try to recreate what we think like the fairyland might look like, or something just very beautiful. And this is something that is going to happen regardless if people want it to happen or not. Because it's needed. It's needed. Okay? It's needed. So anyway, I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all have a happy Friday. I know I'm in the mood for love today. Whenever they attack you in that way, don't allow them to take away your love. Okay? So I'm getting ready to, you know, just go and be very loving. You know, that's where I'm at today. Because, and that's where you should be today. And it was so weird because Zeus knocked Aphrodite's statue off of the thing. It was so weird that her statue fell off. And so I got to give her some offerings and stuff. So I got to go. Y'all have a wonderful Friday, and I'll see y'all later. All right. Love and light.